One of the main ways farmers in this area choose to irrigate their crops is through gravity or furrow irrigation. This labor-intensive process takes a lot of effort, but you can actually get water pretty easily. Good evening, Baja. With a brand new state-of-the-art facility at their disposal, it was hard for students not to be impressed with their school. While the damage at the building was no doubt severe, it may not have been a complete loss. Fire crews were able to get this restored Williston Fire Department truck out from inside the building, and officials believe more might be able to be salvaged. For 8 hours a day over the next 6 weeks, these recruits will learn everything of how to be a member of the Williston Fire Department, from how to put gear on properly to how to provide basic EMT services. The Montana special election results are being counted even as we speak. Good evening and welcome to the Night Report. I'm Amatangelo. So far, it's a very, very close race. With about a quarter of precincts reporting, Democrat Rob Quist and Republican Greg Gianforte are in a virtual dead heat. Wildfires in Montana continue to rage. The Lodgepole fire in Garfield County has consumed about 250,000 acres of land alone. The National Interagency Fire Center says there are 18 large fires burning across the state. Montana Governor Steve Bullock has declared a fire emergency, and today Senator Steve Daines took to the U.S. Senate floor to express his concerns. While the theme for the legislative session that just wrapped up was tightening the belt, the money for this year's construction season had already been appropriated from last biennium. That meant there was plenty of money to finish up some of these projects. That's right, Mark. It's a busy and, as Henry pointed out, slightly windy day out here in Williston. Joining me now is Mr. Jason Germanson. He's the principal here at Williston's High School. Mr. Germanson, what can you say about this building? The Senate approved a bill today to help reduce the cost to the state to expand the state's industrial hemp production program. Senator Jerry Klein says 5 farmers produced 70 acres of the crop last year, making North Dakota the 5th largest grower in the country. This year, the state could grow as many as 3,500 acres. The Senate approved a bill charging producers a flat rate of $150 plus $25 per acre.
Good afternoon, Mark. As you can see behind me, it's pretty bad out here. The snow is coming down very hard. There are strong winds which are leading to blowing snow in the area.
Students in Brockton cheered on prayer walkers on the Fort Peck Indian Reservation this morning.
The youth started this movement, and the youth is getting more and more stronger, and more people, more children. Even the teachers are.
More than a dozen people started walking this morning at the easternmost edge of the reservation. They plan on walking through the night 80 miles to the westernmost edge to raise awareness about the pipeline.
Do some investigating. You know, everyone has access to the internet now. Get involved. Start praying for your families and get educated.
The $8 billion pipeline, when completed, will take oil from the tar sands of Alberta to refineries in Texas. President Donald Trump today emphasized the importance of the project.
And very significantly, reduce our dependence on foreign oil and create thousands of jobs right here in America. And I also would like to add, I think it's a lot safer to have pipelines than to use other forms of transportation.
But the tribe doesn't agree. While it doesn't cross Fort Peck land directly, it does cross the Missouri River, where the tribe gets its water.
All pipelines break. Sometime or another, it will. And we can't take the chance of just letting it go through and destroying our water treatment plant that we have that serves our people.
Along the way, the walkers will stop to pray. And while they are expected to spend the next 2 days walking, their journey to fight the construction of the Keystone XL pipeline is far from over.
As a matter of fact, I'll be in shape. I'm ready to make a few more walks. Let's keep her going strong.
While it's still unclear what direction this protest will take or how long it will last, today these protesters took the first step of resistance. Reporting from the Fort Peck Reservation, I'm Nick Amatangelo, NBC North Dakota News. A tearful morning at the Richland County Courthouse from both sides.
My husband was at a loss of what to do. He picked me up and carried me to my room.
Your Honor, I do respect the legal system.
Cody Johnson pleading with District Judge Elizabeth Bess to show mercy in sentencing, while Montana's chief prosecutor asking for life in prison.
The defendant stands before you today convicted of deliberate homicide and tampering with evidence. And today is all about justice. It's all about holding this defendant accountable for the murder of Nicole Waller.
Johnston begged Best to not let him miss many of his 6-month-old son's first moments, a plea that fell on deaf ears.
As I pronounce this sentence, I want you to understand that I am not making you do anything, and I am not making you miss any first. Those are choices that you made, and now we are all here, and I am going to have to make the final decision as to how to make you accountable for your own choices.
Life in prison for deliberate homicide, and 10 years for tampering with evidence. While Nicole has not been found, the end of a painful chapter in Waller's family.
Well, I've learned in my 30 years that there's never complete closure to the family, but it does put a period at the end of this, that now he's been sentenced, now he's in prison for the rest of his life, but they will continue to suffer for probably the rest of their lives.
Waller's sister and daughter addressed the court this morning, along with Johnston's wife for the defense. In Sydney for NBC North Dakota News, I'm Nick Amatangelo. If you've stopped by Books on Broadway in Williston lately, you may have noticed a familiar face.
Good morning, Books on Broadway. This is David. Can I help you?
After 40 years in law enforcement, Captain David Belial is working at the local bookshop.
It's fun. I just enjoy it. I just work a few hours a week. Nothing extraordinary. I don't want to be tied down. Kids live in Minneapolis. We get back there occasionally. Like to play some golf.
The adjustment from the rigorous law enforcement life to a more relaxed civilian life took some time.
You wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning thinking you got to do this, that, and the other thing, and the way I am, I was always taking notes and going, okay, I got to do this, that, and then you appreciate the fact that you don't have to do those things anymore.